Yo, Master Your Energy community. Welcome back to another video in our series on the laws of the universe. This video today is going to be on the law of polarity. Just a quick review. The first three laws were the law of mentalism, meaning that the universe is mental, the all is mind. Second law, the law of correspondence. As above, so as below, as within, so as without. And the third law was the law of vibration, meaning that everything vibrates, nothing is at rest. Now, when we talk about the laws of the universe, there are principles, the Hermetic principles that pretty much are the foundation, or talk about the infrastructure of the universe that we live in. So you can pretty much process every condition or situation that you find yourself in through the laws of the universe, and you'll find more clarity, or you'll be able to gain wisdom off the things that you're going through in your life and improve your life, so to speak. Growing up, I used to always hear you only use 10% of your mind, and that like perplexed me, left me like, man, how could they say you only use 10% of your mind? But let's just say, as you start to learn the laws of the universe, you'll be able to access more than that 10%, because you'll be able to actually access your subconscious mind. And that's that 90% that seems to be forgotten about. But you don't have to worry about that, because without further ado, we're going to talk about the law of polarity today. So when it comes to the law of polarity, well, first let me say this. If we go back to law number one, the law of mentalism, we said that everything was interconnected, that the universe was the mind of God. Everything is connected within that mind of God. But the law of polarity separates things and explains to us how the universe is dual, is dualistic, duality. We live in a universe of duality, meaning a universe of opposites. You got day, you got night, you got up, down, hot, cold, in and out. And in those opposites, the opposites appear to be opposites because they are actually two extremes of the same concept or the same pole. When you think of the word pole in itself, the North Pole and the South Pole, those are two ends of the same axis. So sometimes in life, with the dualistic nature of the universe, it's hard for us to accept opposites. So if you go through an experience, you may be quick to say it was good or it was bad, or more pertinent, if you're in a room based on the temperature, you may say it's hot or it's cold. But all truths are but half truths, because there's no absolute hot or absolute cold. At what temperature do you start saying it's cold or saying it's hot? It depends on the person. When you think about the law of polarity, you start to accept that if you flip a coin, it can land on heads or tails, but it's the same coin. If you watch a basketball game, there's gonna be a winner and a loser, but it's still the same game. So you're able to bring opposite concepts together to change your perspective. And more specifically, as we talk about the law of polarity, let's stay on the concept of a thermostat. So if you're at 1 degree and you got 100 degrees, all the degrees of temperature in between them degrees are representing the same scale of temperature. So that means that if you're on the same scale, you can work your way from, like, all these degrees are connected by a certain degree, a certain vibration. So you're able to change the degree in a room or the thermostat by changing the air conditioner or changing the heat. But taking the concept more mentally, you got love and hate, you got good and evil, you got lack and abundance, you got doubt, you got confidence. And you are able to work yourself from one extreme to the other through using the law of polarity and using your mind. So if you're doubtful and you're trying to get to confident, as you begin to have one confident thought, you start to work yourself to confident. Or, as you take one act with confidence, you're able to work your way to confident, and you understand that the separation of the two is an illusion, right? The only separation is your mind. It starts with one thought. You got fear and you got courage. If you're fearful in a situation, one courageous thought brings you 1 degree closer to courage. And if we go back to the law of vibration, where nothing rests, everything is vibrating. You can vibrate yourself to the other end of the spectrum, the other end of the pole that you're dealing with. If you're dealing with lack, one abundant thought will technically make you abundant. You're vibrating on an abundant frequency. Again, I think the awesome thing about the immutable laws, which start with the law of polarity, is that you can start to analyze and observe and analyze your life, and then realize if there's a spectrum on whatever topic we're talking about. If we're talking about money, we're talking about success, relationships, love, whatever it is. Once you give yourself an honest observation and analyze where you are on that spectrum, you realize that you can work your way to your desired point, which is typically going to be the top of the spectrum. And the separation of the two situations, like where you are and where you want to be, is an illusion. You can close the gap immediately by changing your mind, which leads to mental alchemy. When you think about the alchemist, a real alchemist, an alchemist in the physical world would take lead and turn into gold, or take base metals and turn the metals into the finest metal, which is gold. The mental alchemist, which we are, we do the same thing. We take, quote unquote, bad situations and turn them into good situations. Take lemons and turn them into lemonade. Take the things that seem invaluable, take the trash and turn it into treasure. And that's a mental practice. And if you can start to practice that mentally, it'll point you in a direction to do it physically. That's why I like to talk about entrepreneurship along with all these concepts, because if you could take a problem and turn it into a solution, you then can pretty much offer the solution as a product or a service to people who found themselves in the same situation and they haven't yet learned the art of mental alchemy just yet. So as they learn mental alchemy, you can teach them mental alchemy as you provide them with solutions to their problems. So before we get out of here, I just want to remind y'all that there are infinite degrees of success. The worst thing you could do is compare yourself to somebody else's degree of success and allow that to get you down or get that out of your own character. If anything, let it inspire you. And if you see they got what we'll call, I guess, like a higher pole position on the polarity scale, be inspired by that and learn from their actions and learn to vibrate on the frequency that they have managed to vibrate on to get there. Separation and duality is an illusion. Everything is connected by a varying degree of vibration. So if you want to elevate, you just got to vibrate higher. So if you're cold, you vibrate higher, you will get hot. If you are experiencing lack, if you can vibrate higher, you're going to experience abundance. If you experience hate, you a hater. You gotta learn to vibrate higher, and you will experience love. As always, man, get something done today, and make sure you go check out the first 3 videos in this series. And we'll be back at y'all with the law of rhythm. Get something done today.